Hello, everybody. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Wow, this is easy. I didn't need to get a whole master's. No, I'm just kidding. I just want to say thank you all so much for being here. Very, very special to be back. I just got back to the U.S. like 6 weeks ago. And of that 6 weeks, I think I've been home for about 1.5 of them. So it's been a very, very busy summer, a busy couple of years. Like Sam, I don't know where he went. Like Sam mentioned, we studied at Berkeley, Valencia, and then I decided to stay there an extra year after graduating to, like find myself or whatever. And so that was a lot of fun, and I know my mom is really happy that I'm back home now. But before we start, I just want to talk a little bit about what this album is about and how it grew. And just give you a little bit of context about it. Before I do that, though, just want to, by name, acknowledge the people that are playing with me tonight and making this possible. This is Isaac Wisdom on the keyboard. He's from Phoenix, Arizona. And to my right here, I have Sam Kelly on the saxophone from Durango, Colorado. And over there is Randy Reynolds from originally Ohio on our sound and visuals that you'll see. Yeah, so these guys were a big part of the production and recording process. When you hear the album, you'll hear a lot, well, not Sam, I'll get into that later. But when you hear the album, you'll hear a lot of the contributions that they made, and Sam was always in the room and helping with the songwriting and the production in the studio. So very, very grateful to them, and this project would not have been possible without them at all. So thank you all. About the album, it's called Genesis, and it kind of represents my, kind of this moment that I'm in right now. It feels like I'm on this kind of launch pad of my career and my adult life, I guess if you'll call it. So I did my bachelor's degree at Arizona State University, and I went there right after high school in 2015. In 2016, I was working at a high school with their marching band, and one day I was leaving there on my way to school, and I was driving my little Jeep, and it decided to it didn't want to be on solid ground anymore, and it flipped over upside down in the middle of the highway. And luckily it didn't hit anyone, I didn't hit anything, and like by the grace of God, I was able to just crawl out of the window with no injuries, no nothing. But for a few months after that, I was just like, kept having this thought of like, if that had been it, or if that had been worse, like if I was injured or worse had happened in that accident, would I have been happy with kind of how I was going about my life and the way that I was doing things? And I realized that I was kind of just checking boxes and kind of just going through the motions of what I thought I should be doing, because people say like, do this kind of job because you'll make more money, or you should do this, you should do that, and kind of not being true to what really felt like I needed to be doing. And so it was a wake-up call for me. And so this album kind of goes through my journey of that. Of course, I wasn't depressed forever, but I did experience some anxiety and depression after that. And so the first half of the album really kind of goes through my journey of that. The second half we'll get into is about the healing process and kind of my journey of coming to terms with who I am and what I want to do and being okay with that. Yeah, so that's it. I hope you enjoy it. This is Genesis, and you guys are hearing the whole album. It's not out yet. It'll be out hopefully in a few weeks. But you're going to hear the whole thing tonight. So thank you so much for being here. Still need this. Everything changed in an instant. Every thought I ever had, every word I ever said, everything I was confident in, suddenly it all felt foreign. All of a sudden, the world looked unfamiliar. I couldn't even recognize myself. In that moment, the only thing left to wonder was, what am I doing here? Thank you. That was Genesis part 1. Here's part 2. The reflection looking back at me in the mirror is someone I wish I didn't recognize. These feelings are becoming second nature. I'm getting used to them, but I don't want to. The walls feel like they're caving in. I feel like I can't breathe. I don't know what to call this. It takes less energy to pretend everything is okay. No one needs to know. But the thoughts are becoming more intrusive. I can't ignore them. What is this feeling? What am I doing? Why am I even here?
the album, it's funny to talk about the album because it's like this, it feels like this fever dream that happened amongst the big fever dream. And we talk about these songs, Aliyah will be like, okay, we're gonna play Nebula, and it's like, oh God, which one's Nebula again? Because just so much happened during that year. But it was really cool to be in the room when the album was being produced, to kind of be there at the beginning, and then, this time later, kind of see it get released, piece by piece, and watch the full, to be there at the beginning of the story, and now to be here at the end of the story for Genesis, and to be on the tour where it's getting released. I remember I had a moment. There was a moment when we were rehearsing one of the kind of trio sets that we had, and it was me, Sam, and Aliyah, and we were just rehearsing, and it was almost like a deja vu moment. It was this kind of sensation of, we've done this before. Like, the three of us have been in this exact position, but 3,000 miles away in Spain, not here in Milwaukee. So I think it's really cool that Genesis was a reason that the three of us got to be here again and got to experience that kind of way of approaching music again.
And it's just been a really fun experience to see like these songs go from like just like point of conception all the way to like where they're at now, and then to be like able to like kind of like jump in and just like be a part of the performance part of it, which is like, it's just been a really fun time.
It's powerful because it's so personal. The music is, it's got that jazz and R&B feel, so it's very musical. It's not the simple things that I feel like I'm used to, and a lot of us can be used to. There's a lot of musicality in it, but it's also, there's like that power in, there's like a connection with the story. And if you listen to it, you'll hear kind of how it develops. And each song has a lot of development on its own, but the music in general too does, from the album, the beginning to the end. It's just an emotional spectrum. So if you like jazz, you like, R&B, then you'll probably enjoy it. And especially seeing a French horn like go through the numbers, it's awesome. So it's definitely a great piece to check out. Yeah.
this black hole. That was the choke. It came at the end, so we made it. Cool. Wow, I need a minute, sorry. That's a depression song, in case you couldn't tell. All right, let's move on. I hate crying in front of people. Let's do part 3. So now we're moving into the healing part. Kind of, healing from all of that stuff. So here we go. Like the leaves fall from the trees, I allow myself to let go of the shame, the fear, the grief that used to take a hold of me. Later, the leaves disappear and the trees stand bare, frosted and cold. It becomes clear that I am being prepared for transformation. Space has been made for the old me to melt away, allowing for growth, healing, and acceptance of myself, flaws and all. This is an opportunity to start over. A clean slate. A new beginning.
really didn't compose music until when I went to Berkeley. I did a lot of arranging and kind of reorchestrating things, but writing my own music is something that's still relatively new to me. I've only been doing it for a couple of years, and the sound really is just an amalgamation of all of the things that have influenced me. So I've been trained in classical music for 15 years, but I also grew up in the church, so there's a gospel influence. I also have a lot of soul and R&B influence and Motown and just things that are really prominent to Black culture. And so what I try to do in my music is to kind of mix all of those things together and make a new thing that's kind of a sound that's really distinctly me. And I think that I'm not really hearing anything else that sounds like what we're playing. And so that's really special also, to experiment and just try new things. And some things work and some things don't, and you know, it's all part of the process. So it's been a lot of fun.
Now that we've healed and I've stopped crying, this song is very intense. If you know anything about my background and training, I trained in classical music for most of my life up until a couple years ago. So you'll hear that influence along with all the other influences I've ever had. And I'll let you see what that means in a few seconds. So here we go. When I look in the mirror now, I only see power. resilience, bravery. I see someone capable of overcoming the most strenuous obstacles. Someone who isn't afraid to feel. Someone who is prepared to embark on the journey to reach their full potential. The person in front of me is a complex being. Someone who exists in the moment. Someone who finds power in simplicity. All that I need to survive, to thrive, is already within me. It always has been, and it always will be. Thank you all so much. Those songs will be out when the album comes out. I don't know when that is yet, so you'll be the first to know. But thank you all so much for coming. Once again, I want to thank Isaac Wisdom on the keyboard. Sam Kelly on the saxophone. And Randy Reynolds doing the Lord's work over here with the sound and the visuals and all of this great stuff. None of this would have been possible without any of them. Also Sam Skold, who's managing our tour. And last, just want to give a shout out to my parents, both sets of my parents, for always being so supportive and helping support this tour and making sure that this is all possible. So thank you all so much. And she thinks she's off the hook, but before we continue, I'm going to have my mom come say some words. She's going to come say a little something, something. This is my payback for all her years of volunteering me to do things.
What's my part? I just like to thank all of you for being here. We were talking earlier, when she and Stephen graduated from college with their undergrad degrees, I took a song that somebody made and I wrote my own lyrics to it. And so for Stephen, it was, I'm so proud. For Aliyah, it was so amazing. And I told her today, God knew what he was doing when he gave me that song for her, because she is so amazing. You know, all of you know, I'm a musician too, but I told her a long time ago, I'm not the caliber musician that she is, because she was serious about her musicianship from the time she started. I went through this phase where I tried to hide from my piano teacher, and I got a job so I wouldn't have to take piano lessons anymore. But that wasn't her. She loved her craft. She worked at it. She keeps me and Joe in check. We would be trying to practice our own stuff, and she'd come over there, Mama, stand on the back of the keyboard. Mama, this is the chord you're supposed to be playing right here. She gave us report cards. I never got a good report card. Joe did, but I didn't. But I appreciate the determination, the diligence, the just stick-with-itness, if that's a word, that she has. When she announced that she was going to Spain, I kept trying to talk her into not going. And that was just the mommy in me. I wanted my baby close. But I thank God that she ignored me and went on to Spain anyway, because when we got over there last year and I just saw her in her element, I just saw how much she grew musically, as a young woman, just in general. And I just thank God that he didn't allow me to hinder all of that growth for her. So I don't know what I was supposed to say, But I'm so proud of her. We all are proud of her. Her dad and stepmom over there, wave your hands, and her stepdad over here. We're just all so proud of her. Grandmother's over there, her aunties are here, cousins, family, church family. We love all of you. We appreciate you being here, and here's the mic, Aliyah.
I was told now I need to put my dad on the spot. Does Steve want to come say something? All right, in this instance, a man of few words. Yeah. All right, well, make sure you stick around. We've got DJ Gemini Gilly over here. She's going to spin an amazing set for us afterwards. Keep buying drinks at the bar. I don't know how much food is left over there, but if there's some more, go eat it. We'll also have a photo booth in the back. I have Rosie Yang here, and she has a photo booth, and you'll be able to digitally download all your photos with a cute little Genesis album release party tag on it. So make sure you also head over there, and we'll be around. So thank you all so much for coming, and let's have fun.
It's been such a cathartic experience to finally perform this music live. This actually tonight was the first time that we've performed the whole album from top to bottom live. And I mean, this really has been 7 years in the making. The whole event that kind of catapulted this project into existence happened 7 years ago. And so it really feels like I'm kind of closing a chapter and beginning a new one by starting this. And obviously it's the most supportive crowd I could ever have, with all my friends and family and the community that helped raise me and helped bring me to be like the woman I am today. So I'm very, very grateful for that.
I've always said, you're writing your own ticket. You're doing your own thing. And I mean, that's what life is all about. Something you enjoy doing. You can see the joy that you have in it. And that's what it's all about. This is life, jobs, any kind of job you do, if you enjoy it, it's not a job anymore. It's just something that you live for. And I see that in you. I see that music in you. And I just know you just starting. You're gonna blow up, you're gonna be 8 feet tall. You know.
You know, truthfully, the thing about Aliyah, you could tell very early on that Aliyah was going to have a mind of her own. That when she decided she was going to do something, she was going to do it.
Seeing or having a front row seat to Aliyah's journey, not only as a musician, but as a young woman, honestly, has been amazing. Honestly, I think that she doesn't realize how much she inspires me specifically, but also just people older than her, just how ambitious she is, how passionate, how intentional she is about her craft specifically, but also how she comes into herself and how she's learned how to love herself. I think that's been the thing that I'm most proud about her, not just as a person, but as an artist, like fighting for not only the music she's been trained on, but also the music that she's come to enjoy as she's gotten older and evolved as a person. So it's beautiful to be at this moment. It's crazy that this is actually the genesis, so with the sky being the limit, I just can't wait to see what's next.